ahead on 12 News, addressing the prescription drug abuse epidemic. Why Maple Grove police believe progress is being made. Then, a Plymouth company to the rescue. Its patented device that's evolving to meet the needs of more patients. But first,
it's concerning to us.
Police say a Maple Grove intersection is the scene of too many accidents. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Renslow.
And I'm Mike Johnson. One Maple Grove intersection is proving to be a dangerous one.
Since the start of the year, there have been at least 17 accidents at the intersection of Elm Creek Boulevard and County Road 81. Police say that's too many. Reporter Shannon Slatton spoke with them to find out why there is that's such a common place to crash.
Here at the intersection of Highway 81 and Elm Creek Boulevard, you can see the battle scars, evidence that there's a high number of car accidents at this location. There are ruts littered with bits of glass, pieces of plastic and metal, remnants of crashes that came before. Just Wednesday, a two-car collision briefly trapped one driver inside a car before they went to the hospital with minor injuries. A few weeks ago, a 50-year-old man died after two cars collided and one flipped.
That's too many accidents concentrated in one area.
Police say there have been 17 accidents since the beginning of the year where Elm Creek Boulevard intersects with County Road 81. And that number is concerning.
It's congested. It's very busy with the 610 project going through there right now.
There is a high volume of traffic on 81. Semis are a common sight, as are cars zooming through the intersection.
It's a large intersection that's spaced out.
Another reason police say this intersection is a problem is because it's a large one. There's two different lights, many roads, construction, ample opportunity for an unfamiliar driver to make a mistake. There's also a roundabout to the north and cars entering Highway 610. Police are monitoring traffic, plus the city and county are studying crash histories to determine the best way to improve safety for drivers.
Just be cautious and pay attention when you're going through an intersection like that and be aware of your surroundings.
In Maple Grove, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And change is coming to the intersection before the end of the year. The opening of Highway 610 could reduce the amount of traffic on County Road 81 and the number of cars having to stop or cross Elm Creek Boulevard. There are two road closures to warn you about this weekend. Interstate 94 will close as you head east through the Fish Lake interchange in Maple Grove. The detour routes you south on I-494. Also, the ramp from northbound 494 to westbound I-94 will close. The two closures will remain in effect until 5 a.m. Monday. It'll allow time for crews to paint bridges.
An executive of a Golden Valley nonprofit is under federal and state scrutiny. Michael Toback is the former president of International Healthcare Services. Toback is under investigation for allegedly siphoning millions of dollars from the nonprofit to pay for luxury shopping sprees and to finance six-figure salaries for himself and family members. Toback admitted to borrowing money from the nonprofit, but told the Star Tribune that he paid it back with interest. International Healthcare Services provides home nursing care for many elderly clients who don't speak English. As thousands of Prince fans gather in St. Paul for a tribute concert, we're reminded about the prescription opioid medication that resulted in his death.
The prescription painkiller epidemic was front and center in Robbinsdale today as law enforcement and medical personnel gathered to explore solutions to the problem. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more. Delane?
Mike and Alex, prescription painkillers are considered a gateway to heroin. Over the past decade, opioid abuse has been a growing problem in Hennepin County. Solving that problem, though, requires a lot of people working together.
Well, I think when you're talking about prescription medications and the abuse or the misuse of them, I think there's a problem that's been experienced throughout the country. Minnesota's got it as well, but we have felt it in Maple Grove as well. And so we're trying to figure out different ways that we can address the issue.
Maple Grove Police Chief Eric Werner was one of about 36 people from local law enforcement agencies and the medical community who gathered at North Memorial this afternoon for an event called Pain Pill Solution. Experts talked about some of the tools they're using to help prevent prescription drug abuse, such as the medicine disposal boxes set up around Hennepin County. In addition, they also touched on a new initiative known as the Minnesota Prescription Monitoring Program, which is aimed at detecting abuse.
It'll be mandatory that pharmacists will be part of that in 2017, and as well as physicians. So that's a great resource that we can see and we can evaluate, whether or not we're dispensing those products or prescribing those products to appropriate customers or patients.
Maple Grove Police Chief Eric Werner says one takeaway from the event is that he wants to remind people about the prescription drug drop boxes. There are 8 across Hennepin County, including ones at the Maple Grove, Osseo, and Golden Valley police stations. Mike?
All right, thanks. Local manufacturing companies are working together on a worker shortage problem they say is keeping them from growing.
Minnesota companies, manufacturing companies in particular, are losing opportunities, and they know it. And they're trying to figure out how to solve the problems of locating, nurturing, and retaining employees who are qualified to help them.
Some of those companies met at North Hennepin Community College today to work on solutions. One involves an internship to help students divide their time between work and school.
Where it provides the job, the schedule, so on, maybe it's Tuesdays and Thursdays they go to work, Monday, Wednesday, Friday go to the class, or work an early shift and go to school late shift. But what we want to do is work that out with the schools.
Experts say those job openings will continue to outpace growth in the workforce for at least the next 6 years.
Exactly 6 years ago, a Plymouth medical device company made worldwide news as 33 Chilean miners were rescued from underground after 69 days.
The miners had this on down in the mine, and they had also had a little cuff on, which gave their blood pressure. They had others.
Nonin Medical created the black device on the miners' fingertips that monitored heart rates and oxygen in the blood. 6 years later, the technology has progressed, and the Plymouth company now has a more user-friendly version to manage patients with chronic disease. It's a form of telemedicine where healthcare professionals can monitor patients from a distance because all the data is sent wirelessly.
How do you reduce the cost of healthcare? How do you improve their lives? By keeping them more stable and eliminate the necessity of going to the hospital.
The biggest user of the product in the U.S. is the Veterans Administration for elderly patients. Still ahead, we head to Providence Academy to meet this week's standout student.
And then later in sports, the Armstrong girls soccer team begins its playoff push. We catch up with the Falcons.
But first, a Friday warm-up. Temperatures reach the upper 60s. We'll be right back.
There's a good chance you'll see the name Anamaria Palomarez in big bright lights one day.
The Providence Academy senior is already a star when it comes to academics. Reporter Sonia Goins has more on this week's standout student.
I'm mostly interested in theater.
Anamaria Palomarez is an actress and singer. She's hitting high notes in many areas. She started her own theater improv club. She's also involved in the Theater Council and several other drama clubs and choirs.
I'm in chamber choir, which is probably my most rigorous club, which is a school choir. It's extracurricular. You have to audition for it.
She not only has a passion for the arts, but academics as well. Anamaria is a member of the National Honor Society. Literature is her favorite subject, but she's also making the grade in honors math and science.
I have to work a lot harder in those classes, but I'm definitely capable of keeping up.
She's also athletic. Anamaria was an avid swimmer until a few years ago when she switched to cross country.
I might not be the best cross country runner, and I'm okay with that.
The humble runner is the captain of the team.
You need to be like a good and honest and a kind person. I think even more importantly than you have to be actually good at running.
Anamaria is also a member of a social justice club called Minnesota Students Taking Charge.
Things like racism and sexism, which are so prevalent, especially right now. I has become a big problem and something that needs to be addressed.
Helping others while focusing on her purpose and passion are what set Anamaria apart from other students.
It's not just about you. You have to look beyond you.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Coming up, a musical that isn't a musical. We head to Armstrong High School to explain.
But first, Providence Academy football closes in on a district championship. John Jacobson is next.
With 2 games remaining in the regular season, the Providence Academy football team is 5-1 and closing in on a possible Twin City Gold District Championship. Following a Week 2 loss to St. Croix Lutheran, in which the Crusaders scored 34 points, the Providence Academy defense did a reassessment of themselves and their play.
And everybody just came together and focused on their jobs that they needed to do. And once we did that, the game was a lot simpler for all of us. And, you know, we just started having a lot better practices, and we started having a lot more energy, and then, you know, we translated back onto the field.
Since then, the Lions have allowed just 27 points total in 4 games, all wins.
The guys have played very focused. They understand their role. They play within the defense. They don't have to do too much, don't do too little. So they fill the gaps beautifully. And so they continue to do it. We were out one player here early on, and we've got him back about 3 weeks ago. And so the defense is really hitting its stride.
Providence features a run-heavy offense led by running back Taylor Meisner and first-year quarterback Jackson Baird.
We've mixed in the pass game a little bit. We've done a lot of running. We probably run like 90% of the time, but the chemistry is great on the team, and we're all having a fun time.
Providence closes out the regular season with games against Patrick Henry, and then next Wednesday, the unbeaten SMB Wolfpack, a second-year co-op team that includes rival Blake. But first, the Lions need to get past Henry.
Henry is well coached. They've got a lot of athletic ability. They play physical, hard football, so they present a number of challenges that'll keep us busy on Friday night.
3 local schools are celebrating homecoming this week, and all feature early kickoff times for their homecoming football games. Brooklyn Center hosts International Falls Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock in a game you can see live here on Channel 12 and our HD channel 799. Park Center is home to play St. Louis Park. That's also a 5 o'clock start. And undefeated Cooper hosts Irondale for the Hawks homecoming. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock for that game. In 7 o'clock starts, Maple Grove is at home to take on Prior Lake. Osseo is at Coon Rapids. Number 1 Tutino Grace travels to Circle Pines to play Centennial, while Champlin Park heads to Anoka in the annual Battle for the Paddle game. Also Friday, Armstrong is at De La Salle. Wayzata is home to play Edina. Hopkins is at Minnetonka. Benilde St. Margaret's travels to unbeaten Spring Lake Park. Breck faces SMB at the Blake School in Hopkins. To mention, it's Providence at home against Patrick Henry. And in 9-man football, West Lutheran plays at Spring Grove. The soccer playoffs get started Thursday night for many local teams. As Jay Wilcox reports, the Armstrong girls are looking to keep a strong season going.
While some expected a rebuilding year, the Armstrong girls soccer team played well in the regular season, fashioning an 11-2-3 record.
I think we got a lot more girls on the ball this year, which led to more of our opportunities and some new faces putting some in the net. And we have 2 new freshmen, which is always exciting to bring new talent to the team.
Yeah, I think we've done really well with it being just a first year for a lot of players and myself, and coming together and playing well as a team. You know, they communicate, they work super hard at practice.
In a tough Section 6AA field, that record was good for just a number 5 seed for the Falcons. They opened section play on the road against an unfamiliar foe, Cretin-Durham Hall.
We've never actually played Cretin, so we don't know what to expect. You know, we're working on all aspects of the game this past week just to, you know, prepare us for the game, but we're going to go out there as us. We're not going to go out there as another team. We're bringing just our team as we play. So
in the end, you know, we're still going to probably play the same team we would have played had we had a higher seed, and you know, we just have to go do what we do, and it'll speak for itself.
Armstrong went out early in the playoffs last season. They don't dwell on it, but do want to avoid a similar fate.
losing in sections to Hopkins in the last 2 years, which was very disappointing. So I'm really hoping we can pull through at least to the second game.
I think for sure for the returners that were here last year, they knew how that felt like, and we didn't like that feeling. So there is an incentive for us, and we told the other girls how it feels like. So I don't think anyone wants to go home tomorrow. So
It's win or go home for Armstrong and all local soccer teams now. Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports. Falcons Cretin-Durham Hall Thursday at 7 o'clock, and the winner advancing to Saturday semifinals.
No one wants to go home.
No,
Thank
right.
you, John. In Local Vote 2016, we are wrapping up the races for Crystal City Council.
Julie Deshler is seeking her third term representing Ward 4 in Crystal, and she faces Jeffrey Munson, who is making his first political run.
I'm Jeffrey Munson. I'm running for Crystal City Council Ward 4. Why I'm running? I'll keep this short and simple. There are two big reasons I'm running. First, taxes. Property taxes go up, but I believe the portion we pay to the city can be controlled a little better. There was a tax hike last year. The council is deciding on another tax increase for this year. It's not if, but how high. I want to work so that we don't keep seeing big tax hikes. The second reason is the Blue Line extension for the light rail. I believe the Blue Line can be useful for Crystal. I think it makes us an even more attractive place to be for residents and businesses alike. Vote Jeffrey Munson November 8th. Thank you.
Greetings. My name is Julie Deshler, and I'm seeking re-election for Crystal City Council Ward 4. As your council representative, I've been committed to being responsive to the concerns of our residents and businesses and being a good listener and positive advocate for our community. As a taxpayer myself, I try to bring common sense to the table, understanding that we don't always need to reinvent the wheel or buy a new wheel. Sometimes we just need to add air to the wheel we already have. Since being elected, I've resurrected the annual Crystal Father's Day Airport Open House and Fly-In and help our local veterans who are beyond the Yellow Ribbon program. I'm a member of the Crystal Frolics Committee, Crystal Lions Club, Rotary Club, and the Crystal VFW Women's Auxiliary. I'm vested in the continued success of our entire community, and I ask for your vote again on November 8th. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Well, finally, a good old-fashioned whodunit with a lot of laughs thrown in.
It's a play at Armstrong High School called The Musical Comedy Murders of 1940. Here's Neil Persley with a preview.
Our set, this show, has a lot of secret passageways, bookshelves that revolve, hallways that are secret passageways. It's really a big mansion with a lot of secrets hidden inside it.
Think the board game Clue come to life, but more interesting and with a lot more humor and multiple murders to solve. Sweet Eskinder sparkles as the owner of the mansion, Elsa von Grossen-Newton.
She's just very up in her own little world all the time, and she's very, very personality driven. She's very, very strong personality, very out there.
Set in 1940 in the early stages of World War II, the cast is full of very contrasting characters, and if musicals aren't your thing...
It's called The Musical Comedy Murders of 1940, but it is not a musical.
What it is a great funny murder mystery story that will keep you both guessing and laughing. In Plymouth, Neil Persley, 12 News.
And the play runs Friday and Saturday.
We will see you again on Friday.